Xueyi is finally releasing at the start of 1.6 in Honkai Star Rail alongside Ruan Mei. So today we're going to look at her kit from what they explained in the live stream to see how she could be good for players. And I also know for like the 4-star characters for previous patches after the live stream, I did end up covering them last, but because Xueyi is releasing in the first half as opposed to every other 4-star which has released in the second half of the version, I do want to cover Xueyi since she is going to just be a lot more relevant in people's minds once, when she releases in the first half here. So starting out with her kit. So her kit is both, very simple, but also I think it's going to be very effective in a lot of situations. So for her skill, she'll simply just deal quantum damage to one target and then also to adjacent targets as well, which is very nice. Then for her ultimate, she will damage a single target, and her ultimate will also deplete the target's toughness gauge regardless of their weakness, which is very nice to have, especially if you're running a character that you don't have too many weaknesses against. If you can get Xueyi's ultimate, you can deal toughness break damage, and if you do break their weakness, then they'll get hit with the entanglement effect from the quantum element, which is really nice. Then for Xueyi's talent, which is where I think she ends up being very interesting, is that whenever anyone on the team attacks an enemy's weakness gauge, then Xueyi will gain a certain number of stacks of karma, and once her karma stacks are at the maximum, she'll automatically deal a follow-up attack to the most recent target, and that's going to be really cool, just to get you some extra damage. And if you're fighting in like an enemy or enemies that have a lot of the weakness types corresponding to the characters in your team, then you're probably going to be getting this follow-up attack pretty often, depending on how many stacks of karma you need to actually have the follow-up attack go off. And then for Xueyi's technique, she attacks the enemy and she does quantum damage to all enemies at the start of battle. So it's one of those like immediate attack ones, and just dealing quantum damage is going to be nice, especially if a lot of the enemies are weak to quantum, because then you also deplete the toughness gauge by a little bit. But yeah, overall, that is Xueyi's kit. Now moving on to how good I think she can be. Now, Xueyi is, as I said before, I do think her kit is very simple. She's going to be that like sub DPS, possibly DPS role. It really just depends on how much damage she is able to do, because I think characters that can do like a decent amount of damage but aren't like hitting anything super high are probably going to be more suited for sub DPS, but she does have that added utility in being able to deplete enemies' toughness gauge with her ultimate, regardless of their weakness types. So that is definitely going to be some very strong utility for her, regardless of what kind of team you run her on. And I do think she can work well with characters that are good at depleting the weakness gauge of their opponents, because the more stacks of karma you can get, the more often she's going to be able to do her follow-up attack. So yeah, I can see her doing well with characters that hit adjacent enemies and can hit all enemies, or characters like Asta and Sampo, who will attack one enemy guaranteed with their skill, and then a certain amount of random enemies too. So yeah, I feel like those kind of characters will end up working very well with Xueyi's kit, just because of the way that she's able to thrive off of breaking weakness. And also, I think she's going to work well with Ruan Mei, just because Ruan Mei is going to, increase the weakness break efficiency, and doing that plus Ruan Mei's support, then Xueyi is just going to be doing more damage both on skill, ultimate, and also that follow-up attack. But I could also see them working very well together too, which makes it really nice that they're on the same banner. So, overall, for Xueyi, I do think she has the potential to be, at minimum, an amazing sub-DPS character, but depending on how much damage she's going to be able to do consistently, she might end up being a 4-star DPS option for some players. And while I do think she is going to be very good, just based on what we know about her kit, if you are a player who is not thinking about pulling for Ruan Mei, or is not thinking about pulling on the Blade banner, and you're just waiting for 2.0, because I know we got a bunch of cool character announcements for that, I would say don't try to chase for Xueyi. She'll be featured on another banner in the future, and if it's one that you're going to pull on, then you'll have the chance to get her there, because there's no real guarantee of getting a 4-star on a banner. You kind of just have to get lucky that you're getting the right 4-star, and I've heard horror stories of people doing like 100+ pulls and they get everything but the 1 4-star they're looking for. So that's just kind of my tip for people to not just waste their summons away on a character that they don't particularly want to pull for. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of Xueyi. With that, I'm going to end off the video here. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. But with that, I will see you all next time.